I'm going to start this video by saying that every school will commit a data breach. And to understand why I would say this, we have to consider what the definition of a data breach is. So a data breach is the accidental or unlawful destruction, loss, alteration, unauthorized disclosure, or unauthorized access to personal data. And the key thing here is that data breaches don't have to be deliberate. In fact, most data breaches will be accidental. They arise most commonly as a result of human error. And to provide some examples, destruction may be accidentally deleting a file. Loss may be the theft of a laptop or losing a USB stick. Alteration could be the modification of a spreadsheet, which you can then not reverse. An unauthorized disclosure and unauthorized access. Common examples here would be simply sending an email to the wrong recipient, or when sending a group email, for instance, to a group of parents, using the CC field instead of the BCC field. It may be printing a document and forgetting to go and collect it from the printer. That might lead to unauthorized access to that information. Or simply leaving a laptop unlocked and someone gaining access to personal data on that laptop. Now the key thing is no matter how minor the breach is considered to be, there's a legal duty on the school as the data controller to record every breach which occurs. So it's extremely important that staff are aware and understand what a data breach is so that they can identify one and report it appropriately so the school can then record it. And what must be in that record is the facts of the breach, so what happened, the effect that the breach has had, so what were the consequences, and what did the school do in response? What remedial actions were taken? And as you'll come to learn when you watch our video on accountability, it will be much better for a school to have a record that is populated with some data breaches than to have nothing recorded at all. When recording any data breach, the school will need to consider whether it's serious enough that it's crossed the reporting threshold. In doing so, we're looking at the impact on the individuals that are the subject of the breach. The language used is whether the breach affects their rights and freedoms. And what that's talking about is whether they could be exposed to any mental or physical harm, financial or reputational damage, or discrimination as a result of the breach. In instances where a breach is so serious that those things are likely to occur, then the school has a duty to report the breach to the ICO within 72 hours. And where there's a high risk of those things occurring, then the school must tell the individuals concerned as soon as possible. To provide an example, imagine the school held all its safeguarding data on a USB stick. That USB stick was then inadvertently lost and found its way into the public domain where it became public knowledge. Well, such an unauthorized disclosure is likely to result in harm to those individuals concerned, given the sensitivity of that data. And therefore, the reporting obligations, both to the ICO and to the individuals concerned, would be triggered. And this is why it's so important for staff members to know how to identify a data breach and to report it at the earliest opportunity.